Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment, Howie, so congratulations to AV, if you will. Of course, Jackie Capuano was happy with the way his team was playing, got him in first place. Wouldn't go any further than to say, hey, all we're doing is concentrating on this game here. We've got to be worried about their speed. Doesn't want it a track meet, Howie.
Well, the Islanders start play tonight 2 points ahead of second place Pittsburgh, 4 ahead of the third place Rangers in the Metropolitan Division. The Rangers have played 2 fewer games. So here we go. It's first line against first line. Jack Capuano made that decision. And from the angle, they score! John Tavares as Talbot left the net right from the corner at 11 seconds. Well, it's not overtime, but perhaps not long after we lost J.P. Parisi. Here's another Islander goal at the 11-second mark, and it's the captain, John Tavares, who gives the Islanders a 1-0 lead.
Well, the Islanders do the right thing. They win the faceoff, and Anders Lee is able to get it down deep. Good pressure by Josh Bailey, and Talbot makes a mistake as he misses the pass to Girardi, and it's in the net as quickly as you can say 1, 2, 3, and the Islanders lead early.
Well, the record, in case you're wondering, for the Islanders is 5 seconds from the start of a game. Brian Trottier did that against the Boston Bruins back in 1984. But John Tavares with an unassisted goal at 11 seconds. 11 seconds has always meant something so special to this rivalry, certainly from an Islander perspective.
Yeah, John just reads the plays, setting the boards down, and he is obviously gives you that opportunity. He's just pretty sharp individual around the net.
So who's this number 2? Is that Jerry Hart or is it Nick Leddy? It's Leddy feeding it back to Ryan Strome at the blue line. Comes back to center and sent in. So it's just starting to say that Alain Vigneault put his first line out there. Jack Capuano said, all right, I'm fine with that. I'll put my first line out there. And you saw what happened.
Not a good exchange, but certainly you can't blame the forwards on that play. That's what you call a bad minus, Howdy. Not much the first line could do, but you know, Al Arbor used to play the first line against first line all the time.
Evan Hayes was just dumped by Ryan Strome. Starting lineup brought to you by Infinity. Chance in front, but it was steered wide by Brock Nelson. Luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Hickey at the blue line.
Little line change for the Islanders. Strome and Hickey playing together.
Grabowski hit the side of the net. Maybe Talbot got a piece of it. Brock Nelson jumps on the loose puck. Now to Wisnowski. Let's go, a drive and a save made by Talbot. Hickey down the boards. Looks to get it to the net. Islanders dominating early. We're a minute and a half in. They already have the lead. Grabowski knocked down. He'd been tangled up with Stahl. And the Rangers clear to center. On the loose puck is Carl Hagelin, number 62. Hagelin, bumped by his own man Zuccarello, feeds Derek Brassard. He looked to put it in front. That's chipped away. 2 Islanders, 2 Rangers go to work in the corner. And it's Wisnowski for the Islanders, steering it to the near side. That's Dan Boyle, number 22, bumping with Kuhlman. Boyle was questionable for this game. He's been sick. Missed the last one. Nash, a shot. That got through. Halak the save. Swept away by the Islander defense. Here's Nash teeing it up. Save Halak. Halak out of the net. Nash can't find it. Now he's got it along the near boards as Halak's back in possession. This is a hairy start.
It was a crazy start. Both teams on their toes. Fans are into it.
Zuccarello to Brassard, and Halak says, get over here, and holds on while Brassard and Hickey shove each other.
A little bit of a mismatch for me with the Islanders who they had on the ice, and they had Rick Nash out there. A couple of good opportunities for the Isles down low, and then Rick Nash. Look at Halak, how aggressive. He goes 5-hole, couldn't quite get it into the net. The angle wasn't perfect, but the Rangers were all over the Islanders in that last little sequence. But Halak, you talk about being aggressive and recognizing who to be aggressive against. Didn't sit back in his net. 35 goals. He says, I'm going to make this guy pass it because I know he can score.
So the face-off deep in the Islanders' zone. The Islanders have their 4th line on. That's Cizikas taking the face-off against Dominic Moore. Islanders with Cizikas, Martin, and McDonald. And the Rangers have Moore up front along with Lee Stempniak, number 12, Tanner Glass, number 15, Straight and Hamonic, the Islander defense. And it's McDonough and Girardi for the Rangers.
Wayne Vigneault was quoted as saying that one of the big differences in this series so far is the Islanders' fourth line has been better than his fourth line.
Just about 3 minutes gone here in the opening period. Each team with 3 shots. Work from a deep angle out of the corner. Stopped by Halak. Comes back out in front. And he holds on. Dominic Moore took the first shot. And both these teams look very, very intent on just throwing rubber at the net from wherever and whenever.
Well, that shot from the corner certainly fooled Halak as he's able to scramble just to make the save.
Well, you could win Islanders tickets in a Lubomir Visnovsky signed hockey puck in the WBAB Islanders Watch and Win sweepstakes. Listen to Roger and JP on WBAB 102.3 tomorrow morning at 9:20. Remember the WBAB player to watch, Lubomir Visnovsky, to call in for your chance to win. Islanders have won the first 4 faceoffs, and Tavares makes it 5 out of 5. Josh Bailey trying to clear out, couldn't do it. Now Marty St. Louis in the corner.
The Rangers are 29th in the league in faceoffs. Their best faceoff guy is Moore, who's pretty good, but after that, they don't have a lot of things going very well for him in faceoffs.
Boychuk springs Tavares. JT in over the line. Quick shot off the stick of St. Louis and carries out of play.
Well, you can see that John Tavares is on his toes. He's been, like we talked about it, Howie. I mean, he's been a horse out there, and since that All-Star break, I asked him today about it. I said, John, you've got the game at a different level. I've never seen the tenacity that you brought to the game. And he said, just quite simply, I'm just trying to be better every time that I play. I'm just trying to help my team be better. That wasn't the answer I was looking for. It's like I'm eating something different, or you know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm eating nails or something.
He's learned. Their job is to say as little of controversy as possible.
He has been so good, so strong on the puck, so tenacious to try and get it back. This game has never been better. In fact, I would suggest it's as good as it's ever been.
Bailey for a lead, and Tavares loose in front, pushed over the net as Tavares was knocked down by Girardi. Puck caroms out of play, and Tavares will get to his knees. And he's already taken a couple of heavy bumps in this game.
Well, it's going to be physical out there, and John knows about that. Shots blocked by McDonough, hit his skate, and Bailey had a great chance and wanted to go up high. First shot watch is going to hit the skate of McDonough. Bailey comes in, and he wants to go up high with it. He just sips it right over the net. So Talbot didn't really have to make a save.
Actually, it wasn't Girardi who had anything to do with taking Tavares down there. But now from the draw, Derek Brassard asked to leave, replaced by Zuccarello to take it against Franz Nielsen.
Well, Alain Vigneault has to figure out who can play against the Tavares line, because so far neither line, whether it be the Stepan line or the Brassard line, have had no luck.
Zuccarello won the draw there. But now straight back in the Islanders zone. More than 4 minutes gone in the first. Hamonic tees it up. Now to Stromes. Nice play by Hamonic to get that puck under control by using his skate. But now Boyle for the Rangers intercepts. Zuccarello up the left wing. Dumps into the corner. Now the chase is on. Straight gets there ahead of Nash. Quickly to Hamonic. Works it out of the zone. Strome finds Nielsen on left wing. Franz spins it to the opposite corner. Grabowski's waiting for it. Strome with Stahl on him. They say Mark Stahl has been the Rangers' most consistent defenseman this year.
Well, he's been real solid. Obviously, McDonough, with the early injury, has come back a little bit stronger. But Stahl, with that long reach of his, terrific skater.
And the fans reacting to a Stahl hit on Strome, for which they thought Stahl should have been penalized.
Cross check.
Stempniak throws one down low, goes off the stick of Nelson. Brock trying to find the red light. He's gone 17 in a row without a goal. 1 goal in his last 24 games. Unwick slams it off the boards to the Islander blue line. It sits there. Nelson gets it loose. Hickey jumps back onto the Islander bench as the Islanders move in. Nelson in for a shot. Save made. Penalty coming. This one's going to be against the Rangers. Delayed penalty. Halak going to the bench. Extra skater for the Islanders now. Visnovsky to Clutterbuck. Quick shot blocked away. And as the Rangers take possession, we get the whistle. The Islanders will get the first power play of the night.
Well, the Islanders are attacking the Ranger blue line with speed driving through. Nice pass from Clutterbuck over to Nelson. Look at him protecting the puck, keeping it to the outside. And there's the hooking at the very end by Stepan. I believe he gets the call on him. Just a little hook in the hands area. But Brock Nelson driving through the middle of the ice and then protecting it, eventually having to put it in a position to score, Howie. And you know, he dearly would love to find the back of the net.
So, Tavares, Lee, Nielsen, Boychuk, and Leddy. The Islander power play. And it's brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Rangers clear all the way down. They've got Moore and Hagelin up front. And Girardi with McDonough, the Ranger defense pair.
Both these teams have 8 shorthanded goals, second in the National Hockey League.
And Hagelin spins it all the way down. Rangers will quickly change up. Now Leddy back in the Islanders zone. Islanders 2 for 8 in the season series on the power play against the Rangers. Talbot cuts it off. Round to the far side. Boychuk jumping in from the point. The Rangers get rid of the puck. A bouncing puck. Nash going to use that big body to get position on Nielsen, but the puck just kept flopping.
And he's got pretty good speed and very good reach. Franz Nielsen had to be careful.
Nielsen put it to an uncovered area by an Islander, but Lee's able to get there in time to steer it in. Islanders finishing their change as the Rangers clear. 56 to go on the power play.
And a good clear by Klein. He squared his shoulders to the middle of the ice and was able to use the middle of the ice to ice it.
Now Nelson for Strome. Ryan Strome put a move on Hayes. Hamonic along the boards. Good feed. Wisnowski, let's go, a drive and a save made by Talbot. With Nelson parked in front. Klein intercepts a pass. Wisnowski gets it back. 28 to the power play. Hamonic to Nelson, steered it wide. Rebound to Strome. Talbot gets it, but doesn't get it under his control. So it's Hamonic now for Strome. Now to Nelson. Save made by Talbot, who is right back on the goal line there. Wisnowski to Tavares. 12 to the power play. Tavares with Glass sweeping his stick. Now for Strome. And Hamonic breaks his stick, simply trying to play the pass. And that ends the power play. Stepan out of the box.
Unbelievable. An opportunity to really let one go. And today's sticks. Frustrating.
The Islanders had 3 shots on that power play. Might have gotten that 4th one off if the stick had stayed in one piece. Now McDonald fires and a glove save made by Talbot. And the Islanders already, with just 7:53 gone in the first period, have fired 10 shots at Talbot. The first one from the corner by Tavares found the mark. Islanders with the early lead against the Rangers. Introducing MSG Go, the only app that lets you watch MSG Network's coverage of live Knicks games anywhere. Download now in the App Store or Google Play. MSG Go is currently available to Optimum subscribers.
Well, the Islanders have put an awful lot of pressure on the Rangers in the offensive zone. Good smart chips and been able to force the defenseman to move the pass a little quicker than they want to, and those are the turnovers that the Islanders have created. I believe it was Stepan last time in the middle of the ice, turned it over to Colin McDonald on that Hunwick pass up the middle, so they're closing off the passing lanes in a hurry, Howie.
Well, 7:55 have been gone in the first period, and this has largely been played in a hurry. Not specifically the elapsed time since it started, but the pace has been frenetic.
Both of these teams are extremely good skaters. That was an area that concerned Jack Capuano. He wanted his team to be able to skate fast, play the game fast, but with a little structure, if you will.
That's the interesting thing about that, Butchie, is speed is supposedly one of the Rangers' strengths, but they haven't really kept up with the Islanders for large stretches of the first 3 games.
Well, they haven't been able to have any kind of speed coming through the neutral zone. The Islanders have pressured them into situations they're not comfortable with. If you give the Rangers time to play their kind of game, yeah, they can get up the ice in a hurry, but the Islanders have been very good at not allowing them to play their game.
11:28 to go in the first. Stahl chased by Brock Nelson. His Kingdom Nelson's for a goal. And Clutterbuck winds it around the boards. Zuccarello dump in front of the Ranger bench.
Here's another indication of what I'm talking about, Howie. Just no time to get your head up and make the good first pass.
Straight. Curls it to the far side. Hamonic jumps in, put it out in front, off the stick of Talbot. That's a couple of times the Islanders have been able to get pucks through from long range right to the net.
And that was a dangerous play for Talbot. Great play by Travis Hamonic just to get it to the front of the net. Almost went in.
Williman trying to get it out, couldn't do it. Hagelin kept it alive. And then it's given away by Halak as he wound it around. Girardi fed the corner to Hagelin, out to the blue line. McDonough, wrist shot, save, Halak. And he clamps down on it. There's no further play.
Halak was able to track that just at the last second. McDonough with a good wrist shot, and Halak picked it up early and then lost it later on, so just assumed that it wasn't going to move in another direction and covered it up in a hurry. There's the pass back to McDonough. Look at Halak. He's looking, he's got it, and he slides over right away. As he looks to his right, he sees Hagelin hanging around there. Figures puck must be coming in his direction.
And Hagelin was uncovered too for a spell. St. Louis chips it up the boards. Josh Bailey trying to clear, couldn't do it. So St. Louis over to the near side, and the Rangers keep it alive. McDonough pokes it to the corner. Reversed by Hickey to Wisnowski. And Bailey smacks it out of the zone. Lee trying to connect with Tavares, reaches back, stays onside, as does Hickey. Bailey got a stick on that, but it comes back in front. Tavares tried to chip one. Lee digging as well, but it squirts loose and onto the stick of Derek Stepan. Stepan for the Rangers, across to Kreider, who's got plenty of speed. And now Tavares up the middle. McDonald quickly looking for Lee. That didn't connect.
Great first pass by Wisnowski, and that's a strength for the Islanders. That first pass allows the Islanders to get up the ice with speed.
Rangers have iced it. The Islanders have outshot the Rangers 14-6. And we've still got 9.5 to go in the first period.
And we talk about the strength of John Tavares, his tenacity. Nobody could knock him down in front of the net. He was able to hold his position around the front of the net. He'll still whack at the loose puck. We talked about earlier on in his career where he wouldn't have been able to do that. Look at the strength. Marty St. Louis comes at him, tries to knock him down. That didn't work, and John said, hey, I'm not going anywhere till the puck's either in the net or it's being moved.
Last 3 games, the Islanders have thrown tons of rubber at their opponents. Thursday night against Toronto, we're talking about first periods, they had 18 shots, 17 on Saturday night against Columbus, en route to a 49-shot performance, 14 tonight with 9:10 to go in the period.
Now, when you're the home team, you always want to get off on the right foot. You want to have your legs going, create some offensive opportunities, see if you can't back the visitors up a little bit, get a lead going through that first period. And the Islanders have been very good at that, as you mentioned, Howie.
And yet it's just 1-0 Islanders on the goal by Tavares from the corner at the 11-second mark.
The Rangers are a very good defensive team. Talbot's been very, very good in goal. Lundqvist is usually the guy that does most of the goaltending.
There's Nash shooting. A juggle by Halak. He sweeps it to the corner. Zuccarello first to get it for the Rangers. Double team that forced the turnover, and Strome sends Nielsen on his way. Through the center ice area, into the Rangers zone. Nielsen keeps working, absorbs the shove, holds the puck, looks for help, connects with Strome. Immediately Strome is hit by Klein. Grabowski got it loose. Hamonic fire, save made, rebound, score! Franz Nielsen, and it's 2-0 Islanders. They are relentless right now.
They really are, and they are on the puck, and they are forechecking, and they're just not giving the Rangers any kind of an opportunity to control their own defensive zone. Elaine Vigneault can only look on as the Islanders have got all the jump, all the speed. Franz Nielsen, again, what's the work down low? Ryan Strome, look at the deep moving by Grabowski. A little bit of a lucky bounce. Hamonic's got the shot, but look at Franz Nielsen. He drives towards the net. Rangers are all over him, but no chance there, as Stahl is caught a little bit out of position. Good hard work by Franz Nielsen. Remember, it was the forecheck that got it done, though.
Remember, Franz scored a shorthanded goal against the Rangers at the Garden on January 13th. Didn't score again until Saturday night against Columbus. Now he's got another one. And it is 2-0 Islanders.
And he works for, again, go to the areas where you can create offense, give yourself a chance to score. Don't play on the outside.
Kevin Hayes forced towards the outside. Off now to Hagelin. He whips a backhander right through the goal mouth. Recovered by Bailey, and the Islanders come to center again. 7.5 left in the period. Lee is in! A save by Talbot. He can't hold on to it. It squirts to the corner, and there's Tavares. Now to Boychuk. Big drive, and that's swallowed up by Talbot. Oh, boy. The Islanders are absolutely relentless. 7:22 remain in the first period. They've got 17 shots. They lead it 2-0. 2-0 Islanders, and our Geico hometown hero tonight is Air Force Master Sergeant Richard Loughran from Mastic, New York. Loughran recently retired after 25 years in the United States Air Force and also served with the New York Air National Guard 106th Rescue Wing. He and his group there have just about everything covered in your Islander haberdashery, between the fisherman jersey, the conventional logo, the alternate jersey, and it looks like they've thrown everything at us in terms of the uniforms. Well, the Islanders have thrown all of that and more at the Rangers with 7:12 to go in the first. They lead 2-0. They've outshot the Rangers 18-7. Nielsen from Hamonic and Grabowski at 11:46. 11th for Franz Nielsen on the year.
We've seen some blizzards over the last month, Howie, but there's a blizzard going on here at the Coliseum so far in tonight's game.
Ryder across to St. Louis. Nelson gets St. Louis down to a knee. The Rangers keep it. Martin intercepts. And McDonald hustles up right wing, works on Stepan the forward. Talbot kicks out a rebound, but a healthy one. St. Louis able to sweep it out of the zone, but Cizikas dumps it right back in.
And that's one area that the Islanders can certainly exploit for me, is that Talbot doesn't control his rebounds. He plays everything like he's going to play in the low part of the net all the time.
Straight with a lead to Cizikas. He's onside. He's in. He backhands. A save made by Talbot. And Casey Cizikas found himself on a breakaway. Back the other way comes Stepniak into the Islanders zone. Good play by Straight. Centering feed finds Dominic Moore well covered, so he throws it back to Girardi. Now Stempniak for Tanner Glass. Stempniak again, chased by Hamonic. You know, Brian Straight is a +9 right now. It's +2 tonight, +9 this month. That's better than any other player in the National Hockey League in February.
He has played very, very well with this opportunity because of injuries to get back in, and then a lot of times a second chance, Howie's all you need.
And here's Girardi behind the net, put it out in front, off of Halak, comes to McDonough, he scores! Ryan McDonough has cut the Islander lead to 2-1.
In a period that's been completely dominated by the Islanders. The Rangers get a break. As Travis Hamonic will break his stick, and the Islanders go down. Good forechecking by the Rangers. They get in on the play. Girardi down low. And a crazy carom, a lucky bounce, if you will, out to McDonough, and he makes absolutely no mistake. Halak again at the top of his crease. Matt Martin is kind of in his way. He was down low watching the Ranger.
Obviously a huge goal from the standpoint of kind of quieting potentially some of this Islander push, and not necessarily quieting the Ranger contingent among the fans. The Islanders have been well represented by theirs here at the Coliseum. I would say it's good, well, 2/3 to 3/4 Islander fans tonight. But McDonough with his second goal in 3 games, his 6th of the year at 14:35.
And it could have very well have been 3-0 as Cizikas goes in. The second breakaway on Talbot in less than a minute. Cizikas tries to go 5-hole, doesn't get it there. Might have been there for him for just a quick opening, and then the Rangers would come back and get a goal that's really badly needed by their hockey club.
Boychuk fired one off the arm of Talbot. Islanders with 20 shots. But here comes Nash shooting. Halak the save. He'll hold on. The shots are now 21-8. Favoring the Islanders with 4:55 to go in the first period.
Nassau Coliseum here in the first period. The Islanders with a 2-1 lead over the New York Rangers. So far, it's been a quick game here. We want to let you know, coming up in the forward intermission report, Rick DiPietro will be joining me to give me his take, or give us his take on the first period of play. Plus, we have a fantastic interview with a longtime Islanders fan who came in special just for tonight's game at the Coliseum. All that and much more coming up on the forward intermission report, guys.
All right, Shannon, thanks. Girardi and Stempniak. And Stempniak picked up his 200th NHL assist, registered the Helpers on McDonough's sixth at 14:35 to cut the Islander lead to 2-1. That's where we are right now with 4:40 to go in the period, during which the Islanders have outshot the Rangers 21-9. New season's high for shots in a period for the Islanders. Miller couldn't tee it up. Meantime, he had Hayes headed towards the net. But on comes Strome for the Islanders. Talbot works it around the boards, kept alive by Wisniewski. Went off of McDonough. And now Hagelin darts back into his own zone, gives it away to Strome. And Hagelin and Strome kind of holding each other off there. But McDonough flings it up the right wing boards. Clutterbuck dumps J.T. Miller.
Good quick stick by Ryan Strome, but thank goodness for the Rangers that Hagelin has got quick feet.
Now Nelson fires and missed the net. Big ricochet, peeled around by Hunwick. Islanders keep it. Leddy wrists one that Albert steers back towards that far corner. Stepan gets there, but Clutterbuck got it back. And now it's Kreider clearing the zone.
Leddy was looking for some of the Islanders in front of the net. There was nobody there. Just had to hang on to it, Howie, and just dump it to the short side.
Boychuk for Kuhlman. And Hunwick takes over behind the Ranger goal. St. Louis, Stepan, Kreider. The line for the Rangers. Islanders' fourth line is on now. Cizikas, who's had a breakaway in this period. Round to the near side. Rangers get it back. Stepan shot stop. The Islanders don't clear. Boyle, the defenseman, tried to squeeze one around the boards. It hit a stick and carries out of play. 2:58 remaining in the period.
Now that goal seems to have settled the Rangers down a little bit and took away some of the Islander momentum. But it's been a very fast period, Howie, and you're right. I mean, the Rangers are really fortunate just to be down a goal. I mean, they've been completely outplayed. A couple of breakaways on Cam Talbot. A couple of other opportunities. John Tavares and Josh Bailey having scoring opportunities.
14 of the 18 Islanders, other than the goaltenders, dressed for this game, already have registered a shot. We're in the first period. Now Colin McDonald to the red line. Pushes one further along. Girardi gets there ahead of Martin, but Martin makes his presence felt.
And that's a good guy to hit. Girardi leads his team in hits with 151. So you want to try and slow him down a little bit every chance you get. Matt Martin will be looking for McDonough, I can assure you that, to pad his total of about 275.
Well, what about wear guys down too? Are you a believer in the theory that you got a guy who you know is going to handle the puck a lot, particularly a defenseman? You just want to hit him, and by the third period, it'll be out of gas?
Yeah, that's what you try to do. I mean, you have certain guys on every hockey club, and you circle them, and you say, hey, make life miserable for them. Don't pass up a chance to lay a good check on them if that opportunity's there. McDonough, for me, and Nash would be two guys you want to get to each and every time.
Nash is a tough guy to wear down. He's so big. The puck stopped by a lot with 2:25 remaining in the period.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of size and worked a lot harder in the offseason this past year. Of course, he was healthy, so he's got a little bit more stamina. I think that's one of the reasons why he's been able to play so well this year, killing penalties, power play, regular shifts, is because he was able to get in much better shape.
Off the face-off, the Rangers have it deep. Brassard chased by Tavares. Brassard whips it to the slot, but goes off of Lee. Islanders had a great chance to move up ice, but the Rangers keep it deep. This is Zuccarello in the corner. Zuccarello threw it off the skate of Tavares, and that carries out of play. Face-off stays in with 2:06 to go in the period.
This is certainly the best line for the Rangers with Nash and Zuccarello, who is a good hard worker, terrific passer, doesn't like to shoot all that much. And so the combination there with Brassard, who's a good young center, that's a line that's been very, very productive for the New York Rangers. And you can keep them off the score sheet. And when you got talking about a guy that's got 35 goals, you certainly enhance your chances of winning.
So Miller and Nielsen will face off. Clean win for J.T. Miller to Boyle. And now Hagelin fires one right off the leg of Nielsen. And it rolls into the Ranger zone with just under 2 minutes to go in the first period. Now McDonough, watched by Nielsen. Nice feed from Miller. Boychuk angles him. They bump. Boychuk steered it around the board. Strome under pressure tried to clear. And now Leddy does. Nielsen having to reach back for it. It's Grabowski involved. And Strome next to get it. He's hit by Hayes. And the Rangers should come out here. Hagelin leads the way, but he's stripped temporarily by Grabowski. Good pressure by Mikhail Grabowski.
Tells you how good a skater Grabowski is with Hagelin, who is as fast as anybody in the league.
Work back ahead. Leddy pounces on it. Rangers changing. Leddy with a little room. And over the line. Here's it to the far corner. Kulemin gets to it first. 2 Rangers on him.
1 minute remaining in the
As we
first
hit the
period.
final minute of the first period, out come the Rangers. Kreider with speed. Away from Clutterbuck. Pulls up. Hits the trailer St. Louis. He's forced to the corner. Back for Kreider. Good stick check by Wisnowski to get it loose. And the Rangers coming on a bit now as this first period winds down. Off the icing, 44.7 seconds left in the first.
Both Thomas Hickey and Wisnowski, much better game since the injury. The pair hasn't been as effective, but they're both very competitive individuals, both very good skaters, read to play extremely well, so they're on their toes in this game against the Rangers, and you can notice the difference in their play.
Puck sits at the circle. Zuccarello's got it. Put it alongside the net. Halak, one save, rebound backhanded wide by Nash. Again, Nash with that big physical presence, able to find pucks and just did miss the far side. Clutterbuck launches one. McDonough knocks it down, throws it back in. 23 seconds remaining in the period. There's the Islanders on their heels a little bit for the first time in the period. And again, they don't clear. This time Hickey just backhands it out to center. McDonough chased back into the Ranger zone. 10 seconds left in the first. Kevin Klein floats it to the Islander line, knocked down there by Wisnowski. And this period's going to end with the Islanders leading the Rangers 2-1. They outshot them 22-11. I suppose, Butch, the Rangers will head off the ice figuring, well, we're okay. I mean, we're down a goal. The Islanders have every right to feel like they played a whale of a period. Going to begin the second period.
Well, Capuano, the only thing that I noticed that he was trying to do is he was keeping Wisnowski and Hickey away from Nash, and AV, if you will, was trying to do the exact opposite. He was trying to get Nash out every opportunity he could against the smaller defensive pair.
So Girardi sends Nash on his way. He throws it off the leg of Hamonic. Swept back into the Islander zone, and Halak connects with Travis Hamonic. Josh Bailey flicks it deep, and now Talbot's got to handle it. That got him into trouble early and almost again. Nash heels it rink wide to Girardi under pressure from Lee.
It's almost like the Islanders are going at him a little harder and daring him to handle the puck.
Now Zuccarello in with a drop for Nash. He shoots. That changed direction off a stick. McDonough spins it the other way. Nash doesn't hold it cleanly, nor can Grabowski clear. Klein threw one off of Tavares, and it's back out in the center ice area as the Rangers work it back into the Islander zone. Hamonic and Klein cancel each other out. And Straight's pass connects with no one. That will go for an icing, so they'll bring it back into the Islander zone. Our trivia question tonight is brought to you by Cadillac. Anders Lee had 4 assists on Saturday. Before that, who was the last Islander with 4 helpers in one game? Can't imagine it would be all that long ago.
No, it wouldn't be, and I immediately think about John Tavares or Franz Nielsen, because Franz is a playmaker.
Here's Stepan giving one up to Nielsen. We'll have the answer for you a little bit later. Nielsen looking for Bailey, checked by Stahl. Grabowski follows, couldn't get a shot through. But Boychuk does it, he scores! Johnny Boychuk from the blue line! And the Islanders have a 3-1 lead!
Well, we've been watching Johnny Boychuk over the last 3 or 4 games, Howie, where he has been unleashing that big shot of his. I mean, he hasn't scored in a while, and he has really been well meant to try and just lambaste it as hard as he possibly can. So we're looking January 4th, and he lets a howitzer go, and I don't think it hit anybody. I think it just went straight up and over. Top of the screen, watch the change. Travis Hamonic, here comes Johnny Boychuk into this area here, and he just walks into that. Grabowski was in front. I don't think he got any part of it. And the Islanders recaptured their 2-goal lead, and another good start to the period.
All right, we'll talk about shooter beating a goaltender from around the blue line, but that was literally on the blue line when he let that shot go. And obviously a score from that distance, that's one the goaltender would love to have back. The Islanders will gladly take it as they regain the 2-goal lead. First goal in 18 games for Boychuk. Back in, Kulemin. He shoots. Talbot the save with Clutterbuck right on the doorstep.
Well, the thing about that particular shot is Johnny Boychuk was able to walk into it, and that's what you want. Look at forward motion, gets on the left foot, and he gets all of it. Talbot gets a part of it, but you can just see, look at the weight transfer from right to left, and he just booms that shot past Talbot. He couldn't quite react quick enough and only got a piece of it. But Johnny Boychuk, that's as hard as he can hit it because he had enough forward motion and just let her go.
So from the draw, it's worked back down into the Islanders zone. Stempniak finishes on the forecheck against Thomas Hickey. And that puck came out, brought back in offside by Dominic Moore.
Dominic Moore trying to control that puck. Colin McDonald had it, tried to just chip it out, didn't quite get it to where he wanted to, and allowed the Rangers to come back. You can see a little jockeying, little chess match going on out there. Again, Hickey out there and Wisnowski. AD trying to get Nash out against that particular pair. That's a smart move by Alain Vigneault. Wisnowski and Hickey both on the shorter side and want the bigger Nash to try and take advantage of his size and quickness.
Nash does fire one that goes wide, and Girardi comes down the boards. Zuccarello looking for Brassard. Nash behind the net. Feeds it back to Brassard. He steered it wide. Zuccarello hustles to keep it alive. And it took a funny bounce off the stanchion, and Halak just wants to protect it. Brassard was digging for it. Frans Nielsen took exception to that. Meanwhile, you've got Hamonic behind the net with Nash. Nothing more will come of that. Well, it's getting, as Marion Cunningham would say of her husband every once in a while, a little frisky.
Well, it's getting a little nasty, but I think it tells you a little bit about the importance of this particular hockey game. It's not just the Ranger-Islander rivalry. The Rangers are 4 points behind the Islanders for first place, a couple games in hand. So this is a very, very important game. You watch Nash and Travis Hamonic in behind. Travis gets his stick up a little bit, little pushing and shoving. That's more like, hey, you know what? You're not going to just walk all over me. I'm going to give you a little paw here and there. Little, as you mentioned, Howie, a little love.
Stepan throws one off a leg. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Leddy took that shot in the mouth. He's heading off the ice.
Leddy just bent over, gliding to the bench as Wisnowski jumps on. And now they've got to tend to Nick Leddy. A near giveaway to Nelson. Stepan. Now it's Boyle under the pressure from Brock Nelson.
The Islanders have been so quick to get on the Ranger defense. They just haven't had any opportunity to make those good first outlet passes.
Kreider a shot, he scores! Chris Kreider has cut the Islander lead to 3-2.
Now you talk about a goalie wanting one back. That's one that Halak would want back. That was a good wrist shot, but he was still a long ways away from Yaroslav Halak. And that's really the first bad goal that Halak's let in an awful long time, as we see Leddy going to the dressing room probably for some repairs. And that starts with a good outlet pass up the middle to Stepan. Good hard pass. And I'm not sure Halak just didn't pick that up quick enough, although he's in a little deeper than he normally is. Look at how he's inside his crease. Halak, generally speaking, gets to the top of the crease. 3-4 inches can make a difference.
So a minute 47 after the Boychuk goal, Kreider gets it back for the Rangers, and it's 3-2 Islanders. Kreider's goal at the 3:07 mark of this second period. The Islanders have the Tavares line on. Well, this is Miller for the Rangers to McDonough. Let's go a drive. He scores! And the Rangers have come right back to tie it. 2 goals in 23 seconds. Islanders 3, Rangers 3.
And that looked like that shot was deflected in front of the net. McDonough shot it from the point. Again, they won the battle along the boards as Girardi's able to stand up on Bailey. There's the shot by McDonough, and it looks like Hagelin or Wisnowski gets that stick, gets the puck.
I think I might have gone off of Wisnowski. What about you?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. This angle will certainly provide a better look. That goes off Wisnowski's stick up and over the glove of Halak. Jack Capuano is going to call a timeout to try and settle his team down a little bit. It's not so much what the Rangers did, but again, the Islanders didn't protect the boards. That puck came around the boards. Josh Bailey was there, I believe, and didn't protect it along the boards, and the Rangers were able to go from there. But there's the shot. You're going to see right in this area here. Watch the stick of Wisnowski. It hits his stick. And you know, as a defenseman, you got to get your stick out of the way. You got to turn and take the stick of the Hagelin, the player, and let Halak handle that shot. So bad luck for Wisnowski, but still, you got to make sure it doesn't hit your stick.
Tell you what, that super slow-mo look is one of the best things developed in television over the last 10 years.
It really is. It gives you an opportunity. That puck travels at 100 miles an hour. You can't always tell, you know, who deflects it, what it hits, what part. Now Tanner Glass is going to switch sides. He's the tough guy. He's the fighter. Matt Martin is still wearing a shield. I don't think he would fight. Now they're going to give him 2 each.
Well, the constant was Martin. First it was Stempniak. Then it was Glass.
Well, there's a reason that exchange made. Is Stempniak's not a fighter. Tanner Glass is. Wanted to even the odds a little bit. And the referee does the right thing. Just get them both off. And Matt Martin hasn't got the same type of shield. Now they're going to make, Rangers will want to make a change. That'll bring an Islander change also. Not a bad thing, Howie. It just slows the game down a little bit after Jack's timeout, so now he gets a little more time.
Is that pretty much what Jack was trying to do anyway? Because what we saw at the bench didn't look like a tongue lashing of anything, just a chance for them to catch their breath.
Yeah, he was just trying to, you know, get them to settle down a little bit, just, you know, get a little structure back into their game. Not to let the emotions get the better of them.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties at 3:30, so the team's now 4 aside. Zuccarello to the corner. Checked by Straight, feeds Brassard. That's blocked by Hamonic. Glass and Martin, fourth liners, both in the box. And some more open ice here. McDonough down the boards. McDonough behind the net. Feeds it across. Zuccarello shoots off of Halak. He couldn't find the rebound at first. And it's belted into the corner. And now Hamonic trying to dig it out along with Strome and Brassard. And it winds up in center.
Rangers playing with a lot more confidence, got their feet moving, creating a little bit more time. The Islanders are the ones that are trying to settle into their own game again.
Nash with a drop pass, and Brassard's shot skims the side of the net.
And Nash really moving up the ice with an awful lot of speed, creating a lot more time for his team.
Now Tavares staying onside to Strome, shoots off the glove of Talbot. And sent over the glass and out of play. Klein put it off, I believe, of Strome, so no concern for a penalty there. Ryan McDonough has his first 2-goal game in the National Hockey League. Miller and Hayes assisting at 3:30 after Kreider from Stepan and Boyle at 3:07 cut the Islander lead to 3-2. Now it's even at 3.
You get the sense this is going to be a 6-6 hockey game. A lot of good offensive opportunities from both teams. Rangers settled their game down a little bit after a terrible first period.
6-6, huh? May not be any coaches left standing if that's the case. Icing called against the Islanders.
Well, it becomes a long game from a coach's perspective when you stand behind that bench and you watch the teams change opportunities because you're wondering when the puck's going to go into your net. Nash with a chance to get on. Letty is still in the dressing room. The Islanders are down to 5D.
So Stepan and Nielsen get ready for the face-off. Nielsen's been excused. Josh Bailey, a natural centerman. Well, maybe not. Bailey was expecting to go take it, but Nielsen stays in against Stepan. And Stepan wins it. Nash snaps one off of Nielsen. Tried to spring Bailey. He didn't hold the puck, though. Half-minute remaining now to the 4-on-4. Nash throwing it back for Boyle.
Oh, not a very good pass by Boyle. Almost coughed it up to Josh Bailey in the slot area.
Now Halak in his trapezoid. Nash in front for Stepan, but Boychuk swept it away.
Giveaway by Halak again.
Hickey turned around. There'll be a penalty to Stepan.
And not going to be a 4-on-3 because both penalties are almost over.
Glass and Martin set to come out. Delayed penalty. Halak goes to the bench. Islanders with an extra skater. Nielsen hits the trailer. Hickey, he drops it for Boychuk. Martin, a shot pad save. And taken off by St. Louis, so we get the whistle. Islander power play is forthcoming.
Well, the turnaround, a good quick feed by Thomas Hickey, and Derek Stepan can't handle that particular play. He just uses his feet. That's not a very good penalty for Derek Stepan, trying to hold up Thomas Hickey with his left skate. Needs to keep the stick down on the ice. Get your body position, don't extend your legs. As soon as you do that, you know you're going to be in the penalty box.
The Islanders power play is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Islanders 0 for 1 on the power play. They had 3 shots though. And now outshot the Rangers 26 to 16, but the Rangers send it all the way down. Hagelin trying to take more time off the clock. The Islanders retrieve the puck. Tavares brings it in. Shouldered by McDonough. Anders Lee pulls up in the corner. Hagelin on Nielsen. And the Rangers clears. Girardi snaps it all the way down.
A lot of pressure by the Rangers. Not wanting to give the Islanders any kind of time to take a look around and start to run their plays.
Wisnowski now. A little too far for Lee to reach, but Strome does. Tavares, quick little feed to Strome. And a 12 to the power play. Tavares loose for a moment. Now out to Wisnowski and across to Hamonic. Trying to relax it. Lee in front, didn't get there. Good play by Kevin Klein, who then dumps Lee. Tavares retrieves the puck though, loses it. Wisnowski holds a Ranger clearing attempt in. Strome though can't find the handle. And now Hamonic, 46 to the power play. Islanders are changing, but here's Tavares shooting, and a save by Talbot.
Went off the end of the stick by Talbot. He moved across, followed it, tracked it all the way. We got a little lucky as it hit the shaft part of his goal stick.
Down to a half minute on the Islander power play. It's Hamonic behind the net. Hamonic and Hickey, Strome, Nelson, and Bailey. The Islander power play. Ryan Strome to the corner. Down towards Nelson. He didn't handle it. And the bouncing puck not cleared by Hagelin. Islanders keep it. Nelson put it right through the goal mouth. 7 to the power play. Bailey to Hickey. Hickey across the line. Now Hamonic closing in. Put it out in front. Score! Ryan Strome! Just as the power play ended, Ryan Strome has given the Islanders a 4-3 lead.
Well, we talked about how Cam Talbot struggles a little bit with shots. A lot of rebounds out there. Doesn't control the initial shot very well. Travis Hamonic makes the smart play. He knows he's got both Lee and Strome in front of the net. He's got his head up. Just a little wrist shot. You can just see it. And both guys go to the net, start digging at it. And it's Ryan Strome who has much better position on Girardi. Look at Girardi's in behind him, and Ryan Strome's able to dig it loose. So good position there for the Islanders, both Nelson and Ryan Strome, but a good heads-up play by Travis Hamonic.
That bounced off the dasher right to Talbot. Butch, you're looking pretty good for that 6-6 score. Although it may end up in the second period, never mind at the end of the game. 11th of the year for Ryan Strome. Islanders 4, Rangers 3.
7 goals in a half a game. The Islanders lead 4-3 at the Nassau Coliseum, and Ryan Strome has just scored his 11th goal. But take a little look where Ryan Strome is hiding over in that particular corner. Now we'll follow the play as Hickey's going to slide it across to Travis Hamonic. Look at Ryan Strome, gets himself in position, gets in behind Girardi, stays there, keeps shoveling away along with his teammate Brock Nelson, finds himself with a goal and a lead for the Islanders.
Nelson and Hamonic assisting. Couple of assists for Travis off the draw. Boychuk throws it wide. And now Boychuk trying to work it back in. Has it cut off by Stepan. 7:41 time of the go-ahead goal for Ryan Strome. Now Nelson hooked one to the back of Kuhlman's skates. Rangers retrieve it. And Kreider makes a bump from Boychuk. Twists it in. Great check by Stepan. Clutterbuck pulling up. But now straight behind the Islander goal. Stepan in pursuit. Kuhlman couldn't get by Stahl. And Straight goes down. So does Stahl trying to make a play.
The linesman got in the way of Brian Straight. the Rangers to pick up that loose puck.
11:20 to go in the third. Clutterbuck turned it over. Hagelin now with speed into the Islanders zone. Hagelin hurls one all the way to Miller at the far side. JT Miller steers it to the near corner. Hagelin's got it back. Straight in front of Miller to the back of Clutterbuck's skate.
And not a very good pass by Brian Straight. Clutterbuck didn't have position. Would have been better served with a little chip pass off the boards.
Well, after the emotions of this one end, the Islanders won't have too much time to recover, because tomorrow night on MSG Plus, they will take on the Hurricanes in Raleigh. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with Visa Islanders game night. Islanders Hurricanes tomorrow night on MSG Plus.
Yeah, we'll see the Stahl brothers. Hurricanes playing much better after that horrendous start with all the injured players.
The Islanders played the Hurricanes the first 2 games of the year. Opening night was in Raleigh. They won there. They won the next night here at the Coliseum. And now Clutterbuck throws it in.
Islanders have a chance to make a full-scale change.
Puck didn't come out, so Strome looking for some help. Finds Nielsen behind the net, tried to put it to the front, but Hunwick was there. Now Strome's got it again. Nielsen from up high didn't get much on that. Hamonic throws one to the net. Talbot's over there to make the stop with 10:20 left in the period. And the Rangers, the Islanders, not quite, or 20 seconds shy of the halfway point in this game. The Islanders have 31 shots.
Now they've really peppered Talbot. Lots of pressure. They've been able to control the boards. There's been some momentum swings out here. There's times where the Rangers have been able to get a little bit going, but for the most part, it's the Islanders have been able to come up the ice with speed and then create a little time and space, and they've been throwing the puck towards the net.
Islanders win the draw. Bailey, nice feed. Hickey backhand. Save made by Talbot. And it's cleared all the way down. Continues to go, and Wisnowski slowed his stride just enough to sell the ice. 32 shots for the Islanders, 17 for the Rangers.
Yeah, I'm not sure Josh Bailey isn't better served to shoot that puck. Once he moved it over to Hickey, Hickey didn't have much of an angle to be able to put that one in, as we see the shot differential this season. The Islanders have outshot most of the opposition on most games.
This one pretty drastic, though, midway through. Now McDonough puts it off of Hickey. Glass behind the net. Put it right through the slot. And now Bailey on his way, working against the forward, Stempniak. Bailey trying to squeeze by him. He does put it out in front. It was missed there. Hickey feeds Wisnowski. Wrist shot or pass. Deflected into the corner. Covered by Lee. Wisnowski now for Hickey. Thomas Hickey fires a shot pass that nobody can reach.
Both Bailey and Tavares had a little look at it, but the Islanders have been able to have kind of their way in the offensive zone with the Rangers. The Rangers get caught standing and at times seem a little confused.
We haven't seen Nick Leddy back yet, have we?
No, he hasn't been back. I'm guessing he's taking a few stitches as that puck looked to me like it came up and hit him in the facial area, Howie.
I believe our stage manager, JT Townsend, just pointed out towards the Islander runway.
Yeah, he's standing there, looks to me.
Either that or that's a very well-dressed fan.
He's got the whole outfit on, that guy, if it's not Leddy.
Wow. Well, let's see.
Yeah, here he comes now.
No, this is not a trespasser. It is, in fact, Nick Leddy wearing the facial guard to protect that mouth area.
Yeah, and either the mouth or the nose. That's generally why you would come out. You want to make sure you don't take another whack. Not sure which. Looked like he was showing him his teeth, and saying, "Where'd you get hit?" Not a game for the faint of heart. Got to have some courage to be able to play that game. Then you got to have courage, Howie, to go back out and play after an injury.
That's before you talk about the skill.
Yeah.
Cizikas around for Martin. He's checked by Derek Stepan with 8:40 to go in the period. And Klein fires one hard around. Hamonic back for it. St. Louis steals. Tried to feed the slot. It went off McDonald of the Islanders. Recovered, though, by Brassard. Looking for St. Louis. Knocked down by Hamonic. Nash jumps in. Round to Brassard in the corner. Martin put the heat on, and the puck out of the zone, retrieved by Boyle.
Boyle has been very aggressive over the last 3 or 4 games, really coming down in the offensive zone. Brassard did not recognize that.
Icing waved off here. Boychuk's got to play it. Nash on him. Boychuk to split a Strome. Up the right wing, Grabowski to Nielsen. Back out in front, pushed over the net by Strome, who had a half a step on the defense.
I'm not sure if Boyle didn't get his stick on that pass. Talbot went hard from his left to his right, but what a nice little three-way passing play with Franz Nielsen and Grabowski and Ryan Strome.
Boychuk looked for Nielsen, and Leddy throws it back in. What's the biggest early challenge for Leddy, given that he hasn't been wearing that? Is it just finding the puck?
Yeah, finding the puck and feeling comfortable, Howie. You know, you put on something that you're not used to. It's the comfort zone you need to get to.
Now Bailey along the boards for Tavares. Tavares takes a hit. He's got help from Lee. It's a 2-on-2 in the corner. Girardi makes it 3 and then winds it around. Eventually Lee gets there, fans, and Hagelin will start a Ranger play that's now a 2-on-1. Hayes with Miller. Hayes draws down Wisnowski, who got a stick on it. Good play by Lubomir Wisnowski in some semblance of desperation. Now it's Miller. Out to McDonough at the line. Wrists one through traffic, goes to the corner. Hickey will push this one out of the zone. What a play by Wisnowski.
A great play as he made Hayes think about what he wanted to do, and he fumbled it.
McDonough to Miller, and he tipped it wide.
Offside looked like to me, or too many men on the ice.
Well,
I see 6 Rangers, so it's going to be a New York Ranger penalty, I'm thinking.
6:35 remaining in the second period. Looks like an Islander power play is coming up. They have a 4-3 lead.
Lead 4-3 in the second period. Too many men. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yeah, here he is down there. 6 men cheating again, Howie, those New York Rangers.
Well, they didn't get away with it. JT Miller will sit it out, and the Islanders will take over on the power play. It's their third. They didn't score in either of their first 2, but their last goal, the Ryan Strome goal, came just 3 seconds after a Ranger penalty expired. So from the draw, the Rangers clear all the way down. Leddy and Boychuk the point men. Tavares, Nielsen, and Lee the forwards. Islanders with a 5-on-4 advantage. The Rangers have McDonough and Girardi back. Hagelin and Moore the forwards. This is Leddy. Challenged by Moore. He didn't clear, but Girardi does, and he just missed Hagelin. And with Hagelin's speed, he might have been in. Now Hagelin goes to the bench, and Boychuk brings the puck to center. Johnny Boychuk has a goal in this game. Tavares finds company in the corner, so he plays it to a less populous area. Nielsen's there. And sent all the way down.
The Rangers continue to be as aggressive as possible, getting 2 guys in the corner after the puck. So if the Islanders can get some quick puck movement, they'll catch the Rangers out of position.
Well, Hayes doing a good job taking time off the clock. 55 to go on the Islander power play. Now it's Tavares. Stick handling his way into the Ranger zone. Strome didn't hold it, and Glass slides it in. Hamonic being chased by Glass, who peels off as the Rangers change the penalty killers again.
The Islanders don't see a lot of this type of pressure. They're not used to dealing with it. You can't practice this type of pressure.
Nelson back for Hamonic. Shanks the pass, and here comes Hagelin going right down the middle. Unable to get through, though. Hagelin and Hamonic get to the corner together. Remember, both of these teams with 8 shorthanded goals. Second most in the league. Brock Nelson pulls up.
There's the pressure. 3 guys on the ice at the same time.
Forces the turnover, and the penalty about to expire.
Good job of penalty killing by the Rangers. They did not allow the Islanders any kind of time to get anything going.
Bailey back in center now. 4:25 left in the period. Hamonic in. Hamonic on the move. Hamonic centers McDonald, and he chipped it wide.
Great opportunity for Colin McDonald. A terrific offensive play.
Now straight a shot kick save made off the deflection by Talbot. Martin to McDonald, he just missed.
2 in a row for Colin McDonald. Golden opportunities. He needed to be stronger on the bottom hand just to chip that into the net.
It's going to be an interference penalty, I guess, against Brian Straight there.
On Miller.
There's one Mississippi, and then there's a little more than one Mississippi. And so Straight will go to the box. Ranger power play when we get back.
An intense, a passionate game at the Nassau Coliseum with the Islanders leading 4-3. Brian Straight sliding over to cut off Miller. Well, Miller never played the puck at all, and that was the only thing wrong with that particular check. Brian Straight, 2 minutes of interference. Got to be able to play the puck.
Yeah, forget the one Mississippi.
Yeah, that count never got started.
Nope. But the penalty clock will, with the Rangers holding a 5-on-4 advantage now. They're 1 for 7 against the Islanders on the power play in their season series. This is Brassard down the board. Put it out in front. Hickey did all that he could legally do there against Nash, who recovers the puck. Brassard to Zuccarello. Nash in the corner. Out to McDonagh, kick save, and then the save made by Halak on Brassard.
Terrific reflexes by Halak on the original shot from the point. Rangers working the puck down low, and then out to McDonagh. Look at that rebound as Halak couldn't control it, but he moved forward. Watch the original save. Halak makes the pad save and then gets up and takes another few inches towards the shooter, Brassard. Brassard wanting another try. Good puck movement by the Rangers, keeping it down low below the goal line.
A chance for McDonagh, and a glove save made by Halak. Ryan McDonagh firing away for a hat trick. The last Ranger defenseman to have a hat trick was Reijo Ruotsalainen in '82, and he did that just a little less than 2 weeks after Dennis Potvin had the last Islanders hat trick by a defenseman.
Good hard wood by McDonagh. Face-off win by Brassard over Frans Nielsen. The Islanders got to get better on the face-offs.
Well, not that one. It's won by the Rangers. McDonagh leads Zuccarello. Now to the corner to Nash, exchanging with Stepan. Nash to Brassard, didn't get there. Zuccarello with 1:20 on the power play. Zuccarello to Stepan, tees it up, finds Nash, little dribbler wide. Zuccarello again, chased now by Kuhlman. Kuhlman and Nielsen, the Islander forwards. Nash, Brassard, Zuccarello, and now Brassard again. Thought about a shot. Nielsen chipped it away. Brassard recovers. All the way to Stepan. He shoots. Halak the save. Juggles the rebound. Trying to get back into position. Now it's McDonagh. Across to Brassard. Curling on Hickey. McDonagh fumbles the puck. And the Rangers have to tag up. And a steal now by Nielsen. Not so much a steal as a misplay by McDonagh. But the Islanders gladly take it. And now 34 seconds remain to the Ranger power play.
They get to make a change, which was really important for them.
In comes Kreider. Tried to play it across. Broken up. Cleared all the way down. So St. Louis with 18 remaining on the Ranger power play. 2:13 to go in the second. 4-3 Islanders. Boyle winds it in. Halak spins it off the glass. Cleared by Cizikas. Not necessarily the way they drew it up, but it worked.
Now it's the Nassau Coliseum. Expect the unexpected, and the Islanders take advantage of it.
Straight out of the box. Rangers had 4 shots. Hayes trying to feed the trailer Kreider. He eventually gets there, but gives it up to Bailey. And the Islanders move through the center ice area. Bailey spinning it around to the far side. Islanders changing. Anders Lee working the corner. Girardi gets the puck back, checked by Tavares, but now Kreider. Wisnowski hustles, trying to cut Kreider off. Good job by Lubomir Wisnowski.
Oh, he's really got the legs today. Viz has struggled a little bit with his skating, but boy, he's on the bit today.
Remember the Toronto game Thursday night? We saw him make up a ton of territory in a hurry after a giveaway in his own zone. Bailey put it right to the net, steered away by Talbot.
Well, it takes a little while, especially if you're a little bit older guy, to get those legs after an injury.
More good move on Wisnowski. Put it out in front. Hagelin trying to tee it up. Instead of showing a seat by Wisnowski. We're into the final minute of the second period. 4-3 Islanders. And now Stahl. Pass that Moore didn't hold. Then Moore knocks Cizikas down. Casey Cizikas trying to get it deep. Hagelin cut it off. Lifts a bouncer to center that J.T. Miller corrals. And flips softly into the Islanders zone. Half-minute remaining in the period. Icing called against the Islanders. They'll bring it back into Halak's neighborhood.
It looked like it hit someone's stick just outside the blue line.
Well, this spring, Broadway's biggest spectacular will be at Radio City Music Hall, the New York Spring Spectacular, starring the Rockettes. March 12th through May 3rd. Visit Rockettes.com/spring.
Alain Vigneault taking advantage of every offensive face-off with the Nash line.
Cizikas loses the draw to Brassard. Nash didn't get the shot through. 20 seconds left in the period. And there's going to be a penalty here. It's going to be against the Islanders. Down to 12. Centering feed flicked away by Martin. And the Rangers are going to end this period and probably begin the third with a man advantage.
Yeah, tough call on Travis Hamonic in the corner, and a stick as he goes to Pochek in the corner. You can just see his stick gets caught in the skate of Zuccarello. So that's a tough call, Boyd. You're just trying to check the individual. That's a look at Travis, lets his stick go right away. Wow, that's a tough one.
Well, the Rangers had 4 shots on their first power play. Hamonic sit the final 10 of this period out, 10.5 to be exact. Rangers control the draw. McDonough wrist one to the slot, a backhand by Stepan save, and then Brassard missed the rebound. And time does in fact run out in the second period. The Rangers came that close to tying it up, but it remains 4-3 Islanders, and the Rangers will have 1:50 of power play time when the third period begins. Halak having to come up big right there at the end.
A much more evenly played period for both teams.
Halfway through the second period, and we'll see what ensues here in the third with the Rangers. And there's McDonough, who has 2 of the goals for the Rangers. They've got a power play to start this period for 1:50.
And they start with a face-off win, Howie, in that last penalty kill for the Islanders. They struggled a little bit with it because they didn't win any face-offs. You got to be strong in that face-off zone. Certainly helps you to clear the puck and take some time off the clock.
Now McDonough sends Nash down the boards. Feeds it back to the blue line. Long pass intended for Zuccarello. Picked off and cleared by Hickey.
Sloppy pass by McDonough, but the Islanders will say thank you very much and be able to clear that puck down the ice.
McDonough. Cross now. Brassard doesn't get in. Nash moved it along to Stepan. Zuccarello waiting at the line. That's Zuccarello. Yields it back to Stepan. Now to McDonough. Across to Brassard. He fires. Save Halak. It's loose. Halak down. Stepan hit the side of the net. Down to 51 on the power play for the Rangers. They just had a glorious chance. Work back to the line. McDonough scrambling. Moves it to Zuccarello. Lines it up. Fires one that deflects over the net. Ranger pressure on the power play. Stepan turns. Sets up Zuccarello. He missed upstairs. And it ricochets out of play.
Not sure that hit anybody. I don't know why that faceoff wouldn't go outside. There's a shot by high shot as Halak has it. Thinks he has control. And then Cizikas comes back to tie up Stepan. Good read by Casey Cizikas to cover down low. Halak was slow to get across to the other side because he thought he still had it up against his shoulder pad.
Rangers have changed. Hayes, Kreider, St. Louis, Boyle, and Girardi. Hayes thrown out of the faceoff. Kreider will take it against Brock Nelson. And Girardi slips it back to Boyle. Broken up, recovered by Kreider. Moves up, shoots, save! Halak! Rebound stopped by the stick of Halak. 21 to the power play. Girardi down the boards against Nelson. Strome the other Islander forward. Leddy and Hickey to defense. This is St. Louis. Drifting to the corner, flings one to the net. Halak's got that. No further play. Hickey and Kreider shove.
Slow whistle. Again, Marty St. Louis, the wily vet, just throws that puck towards the net, forcing Halak to make a save. He knows that he has Kreider in front of the net. Now that's Hayes on that first shot of screen. He jumps out of the way. a second opportunity for Hayes. Islanders again had a couple of chances to get it out. There's big Kreider in front of the net on that sharp angle shot by Marty St. Louis. Halak does a good job of covering up the puck and not giving any rebounds. And that's been the difference between the two goaltenders in the game tonight, is that Halak has been able to control his rebounds a whole lot better than Talbot.
So from the draw, Rangers control. Penalty about to end. Boyle shot off the stick of Tavares. Hamonic is out of the box. So the Islanders survive a 5-shot Ranger power play, although they do go offside as they enter the Ranger zone. The Rangers with plenty of pucks towards Halak to start this third period.
Well, they were able to win the faceoffs, Howie, and pretty much allow them to have offensive zone time. The Islanders had several opportunities, and the penalty killings always revolves around a couple of situations. One, winning faceoffs, and then two, when you have the opportunity, making sure you get it down the ice. And the Islanders have been guilty again on a couple of occasions.
Looks like they'll throw more out of the faceoff. So Lee Stempniak will take it now against Tavares outside the Ranger line. And from the draw, the puck to the boards. Nick Leddy backing up. Gave it up, and it's thrown in by Glass. And the crowd now getting into the dual chants of let's go Rangers, let's go Islanders. And clearly the Islander fans, the more plentiful and so far louder bunch in this game. But we'll look at our trivia question, which we asked you before, brought to you by Cadillac, having nothing to do with crowd noise. It's about who is the last Islander before Anders Lee on Saturday with 4 assists in a game. How about this for an unlikely suspect?
Chris Campoli, former Islander, former Ottawa Senator, now playing in Europe, I believe.
Well, from the draw with 2:20 on here in the third. McDonough for Girardi along the boards, throws one to the net. It went untouched. Zuccarello has some space across to Nash. Good coverage on him as he tried to tee it up. Flings it back to Girardi, and now McDonough throws one in front. Save. Halak rebound off the stick, I think, of Hamonic. Brassard tried a backhander with Halak down. I think that went off Travis Hamonic. But we'll see when we get a chance. Meanwhile, Zuccarello tried to put it to the front of the net. He did. Brassard had a whack at it. And now Lee throws it out of the zone, and on comes Bailey. And over the line, he ran right into McDonough, who went down. Girardi took Tavares down, and both Lee and Bailey went to Girardi. Meantime, the Rangers send it back into the Islanders zone. Islanders had 3 players all go into the defense, really, of 1.
Yeah,
but they had to be careful there because they were all trapped.
it looked like Girardi hit Tavares, who had his back turned to the play, and referees didn't see it that way, and that's why the Islanders came in to rescue their captain.
3.5 gone to the third. Boyle across to Hunwick. Wrist shot, kick, save, rebound, loose in front. Miller can't get to it, nor can the Islanders clear. Intense pressure by the Rangers until Boyle coughs it up. Here comes Strome with Grabowski. The trailer Nielsen to Strome. Off the crossbar and in. He scores! 5-3 Islanders.
Huge goal for the Islanders as the New York Rangers were exerting some pressure, having a good push on the Islanders in the defensive zone, and Boyle coughs it up at the blue line, and that allows the Islanders to jump into a 3-on-1. Watch the turnover, pressure by Ryan Strome, and away he goes. He takes a little look over his shoulder. He's got Franz Nielsen, quick return pass, and he just hangs on to it and waits for Talbot to come in. Talbot starts to cheat a little bit. Ryan Strome right up over the glass, up in the toy department, and a huge goal for the Islanders, his second one tonight. And a 2-goal lead for the Islanders.
Their third such advantage of this game. They've led 2-0, 3-1, and now 5-3. We're 4 minutes into the third. Zuccarello looking for the breaking Kreider. Didn't get it there. And boy, that Boyle giveaway may prove to be the biggest play of the game by the time it's over.
Yeah. Ryan Strome forced that play with the good pressure. Didn't give him any time.
And that's after the Rangers had taken the first 8 shots of the period. A big hit by Martin on Kreider along the boards. Rangers trying to clear.
Zizekas laid a pretty good licking on Klein also. He looked a little shaken up. He's still yelling at the referee, Klein, as he goes off the ice.
Ryan Strome's second goal of the game, his first career 2-goal game in the NHL. Nielsen assists at 3:43. Guess they're yelling Talbot, Talbot. The chant the Islander fans have used before in this season series this season was "You can't beat us." We might hear that again before long, depending on how the rest of this period unfolds.
Oilers would love to find a way to score another goal. Brock Nelson would love to find a way to score a goal.
Nelson had been knocked down there. And now back at the Islander line, straight pushes it to center, dumped right back in by Moore. So 5:20 gone in the third. Rangers with 8 quick shots to start the period, 5 on the power play. Islanders shots advantage 38-32. Islanders high for the season in shots is 48. That was against Tampa here in December.
And that was the first shot of the period by the Islanders, and it turns out to be a pretty good shot by Ryan Strome.
Now Boyle being chased by Lee, who takes Boyle in. Second Islander is Bailey trying to fish the puck away from Hunwick. The Rangers retrieve it, and here's a lead for Nash against Leddy. They get to the boards together. Boychuk finds the puck.
Leddy, such good speed, uses that speed to create an angle.
Oh, and a big hit by Boychuk, and he actually kind of slowed down a bit as he pursued Zuccarello because he knew he had him dead to rights.
I didn't want to take a charging penalty, and it was a good smart play by Johnny Boychuk.
Now Tavares lost it behind the net to Klein, and up with speed is Kreider driving towards the net. Stepan scores! Derek Stepan trailing Kreider snaps it past Halak, and the resilient Rangers, as they've been tonight, have again cut a 2-goal Islander lead to 1. This latest 2-goal lead lasted 2:42. Stepan makes it 5-4 Islanders.
Nifty play by Kreider, using his speed to the outside, and Stepan just follows him up. Look at Kreider as he goes fast to the outside, and Wisnowski can't get his stick in position quick enough. You can see that Stepan's right there. Wisnowski's in the area. Just couldn't close it off quick enough, and a perfect shot by Stepan, but it was all about Kreider as he uses that outside speed and then drops the puck into the hole to Stepan.
This is some kind of hockey game, and there's plenty of it remaining. 13 and a half to go in the third. 5-4 Islanders. Butchie, your 6-6 call is still very much in play.
It's just been that kind of a game. Both these teams very, very creative.
Hagelin couldn't snap the shot through Hickey's check, and the Islanders look to go the other way. Here's Grabowski, chased by Miller. Grabowski puts it deep. Strome with 2 goals in against Girardi. The Rangers move it quickly. Hagelin threw it back to McDonough, who also has a pair in this game. A big hit thrown by Cizikas at Hayes, who basically shrugged him off.
Hayes is 6'3", 6'4". A tough matchup for Casey.
Hagelin to Stepan. Couldn't tee it up. Hagelin gets it back, looking for Stepan behind the net now. Stepan's there. Hunwick's gone to the front of the net. Kreider trailing, fires, and a save made by Halak on a sizzler by Chris Kreider. 12:38 remaining in one of the best regular season games of the year. 5-4 Islanders.
Ladies and gentlemen, New York.
Period at the Coliseum. Lots of action, a lot of goals. Girardi on the hit to Tavares. Islander forwards take exceptions. They come in and pile on Girardi. And then this is the goal that got the Islanders the 2-goal lead. Ryan Strome up over the glove of Talbot. But the Rangers on a beautiful play by Kreider to Stepan, and he beats Halak. It's 5-4, and I get the sense that it's not quite done yet.
Well, 12:38 remain in the third, so that's plenty of time to keep the goals coming. The Islanders would love to end it the way it is right here, but there's a lot of clock remaining. Now Grabowski in over the line with a drop to Nielsen. And that spins the other way. Third period shots are 10-1 for the Rangers. And Zuccarello now lifts one across ice.
Your first goal from number 21, Derek Stepan.
That's Nielsen back to play it away from the oncoming Brassard.
Top of the goal, 625.
And it's reflected off of somebody on the Islander bench, so play is stopped with 12:08 left in the third.
And the Islanders looking for the quick breakout, which has been their bread and butter in this particular game, coming up the ice with speed, catching the Rangers either in deep or a little bit flat-footed. The Islanders struggled a little bit in the third period, Howie, with getting outshot, particularly early on. But they've had the lead so many times that the opposition comes at them in waves because they don't have anything to lose. So it's a kind of a catch-22 there, if you will.
Just haven't been able to enjoy their 2-goal leads, and now Stepan to St. Louis. He scores, and the Rangers have tied it 5-5. Marty St. Louis, who's been struggling lately, comes up with the equalizer, his first goal after going 15 without one. And it is Islanders 5, Rangers 5 with 11:58 to go in the third period.
Yep. The Islander bench is unbelievable. The Islander bench is unbelievably upset. There's the trip right there looks like by Kreider. And then the quick shot by Marty St. Louis. And the Islanders were really upset with that play. The non-call in the neutral zone. 5-5, and there's still well over 10 minutes to go in this game.
So, from the draw, Anders Lee steps into Girardi. And then Talbot called on to make a stop. Now it's Leddy along the boards. Tavares, a wraparound. It went right through the crease. And St. Louis lofts it out to center. This one's going to go down as one of the more memorable Islander-Ranger games in regular season history, I would imagine. Kreider took that shot after the whistle. Offside the call.
Well, it's been wide open for the most part. I mean, it's either the Islanders coming at the Rangers with opportunities or the Rangers coming at the Islanders creating opportunities. It's not a game of structure. It's what Jack Capuano said he didn't want, a track meet, and that's what it is. It's a 100-yard dash, and it just depends on who gets the first leg up.
Well, you saw the success the Islanders had in the first 3 games and the goals against department. They had outscored the Rangers 13-4. Now the Rangers have 5 tonight. And it's the 4th straight road game where the Rangers have scored 5 or more goals. Clutterbuck plays it back to Wisniewski. Man, if you look at the way this game's gone, you figured if anything was going to be a backbreaker, it would be that Boyle giveaway, which led to the 5-3 goal. And the Rangers have come right back with 2 goals in 1 minute and 37 seconds. And now in comes Moore. Dominic Moore to the backhand. Save made by Halak. And peeled back off the boards. Boyle back to get it. McDonald on him. Now Cizikas in fishing for it. Unwick's there. J. Tim Miller tried to spring Hagelin with a breakout. Hagelin steps into Hamonic. 10:26 to go in the third. Martin put a hit on Hunwick. Straight with a drive. Save made. Rebound right through the slot. McDonald knocked down. He's looking for help from the officials. Rangers move up 3-on-2. And Hayes' shot goes wide. Now Stahl back at the Ranger line.
A lot of tension in the building, Howie, and at the same time, a lot of excitement.
And if this game were in the playoffs, paramedics would be called on somewhere by now. Strome snaps one off the leg of Girardi. And Brassard looking to move up the right wing. Closed off by Nielsen. Zuccarello steps in front of Leddy. Cross to Nash, now to Brassard. He shoots. Halak the save. He took some contact. Trying to find the puck. Brassard's got it at the far side. Back to McDonough. He drilled it wide. Girardi down the boards. Back to the blue line. Zuccarello. He fires. Halak the save. And there's no further play at the moment, but there's plenty more to come. 9:25 to go. Third period. 5-5. Have had more relaxing nights, but after the game, don't you relax, because we've got the post-game, the Mazda post-game coming up. You'll hear from Jack Capuano and the players, plus highlights and analysis immediately following the action, and there's been a ton of that. And don't forget as well, coming up, the Foxwoods Final 5. Foxwoods excitement every day.
Well, we almost have 80 shots, Howie. There's a good chance that they could hit the 100 shot mark with both these two teams the way they're playing.
40-39 for the Islanders in that department. Grabowski threw it through the goal mouth. Rangers have closed the gap in that area too.
It's been a very strong period for the Rangers. Their best period. They've been able to come through the neutral zone much quicker than they were in the first two periods.
Boychuk in deep, wrestling with Girardi. Nielsen in the corner. Now for Grabowski, went over his stick. Boychuk stays down the boards. Grabowski after Girardi. Grabowski with the steal. Boychuk backs up, throws it right through the slot. He was looking for Bailey's stick. Rangers go the other way. Stepan to Kreider. They crisscross. Stepan tees it up. Holds up, looks for Kreider. Finds him behind the net, but so does Leddy. Bailey's there as well. Kreider still working. The Islanders retrieve the puck. Grabowski springs Tavares. On Tavares now. Pitches one towards himself, but Klein will get to it first. Steers it around. Lee cuts it off. Anders Lee to Tavares. John Tavares to the corner. Out to the point, but Hamonic can't hold the bouncing puck. Nash bearing down towards him.
Smart play by John Tavares. First chipped it in, didn't try to beat two defenders, and then they were able to retrieve the puck. Bad break that had bounced over Travis Hamonic's stick on the offensive try.
Nash to Brassard, in on the right wing to the Islanders' zone. Zuccarello curls in the corner. And Zuccarello feeds the blue line. Hunwick, a wrist shot through traffic, blocked away. Rebound Zuccarello, that's knocked down. Neither one got through. Nash shot it wide. Tons of traffic in front of Halak. Boyle fires that way. That one was blocked by Straight. Islanders try to clear, and they do, barely. But the Islanders needing a change, as the Rangers do as well. Give everyone a breather for a moment.
You and I included.
Kulemin angled up with Moore. Stempniak on the puck. Glass had knocked Nelson down. The puck lands in the corner. Taken by Moore. Nelson turns Glass around. Stempniak on the puck. Lee Stempniak. And along the boards, looks for Glass behind the net. Now it's Moore. To Girardi, who's in deep. Put it right through the crease, and winds up being as effective as an Islander clear.
Ryan Straight stayed with Tanner Glass in the goal crease area. Otherwise, Tanner Glass would have an easy play.
Each team with 40 shots. Each team with 5 goals. 6:44 left in the third. Cizikas brought it in, went down. Martin spun it around. Hickey in deep. Looks to return it to Martin, who's in a pretty good wrestling bout there with Stahl. Martin wins the puck. Good play by Matt Martin. Strong play. Throws it off the side of the net. Now Stahl pitches it to the boards. Stempniak and McDonald get there together. It's lifted to center. Leddy goes across to Wisniewski. He throws it in. Islanders changing on the move. 6:13 to go in the third. Kevin Klein out of his own zone for the Rangers. Bounces one in. Boychuk back forward. He's checked by Hayes. Now Grabowski with J.T. Miller on him. Finds Leddy in the corner. His headman to Grabowski missed, but carries straight through to Talbot, who gave it away to Nielsen. Backhands it, went over the net.
Terrific shot by Frans Nielsen to get it away so quickly and knew exactly where he wanted to go. Almost a huge giveaway by Talbot. A hefty price could have been paid.
Islanders have already used their timeout. The Rangers have not. 5.5 remain in the third.
Islanders will try to make quick changes now. I'm sure the Rangers will do much the same thing. 30-second shifts for everybody.
Good moves by Hunwick. He sends Miller in against Hamonic. Spins it to the near corner. Tavares waits for it. He takes a hit from Chris Kreider. Girardi held the puck in. Nobody home on that side but Hamonic. And he hustles to center. Hamonic to Lee into the Ranger zone. Anders Lee lugs it to the corner. Worked over a bit by Stepan. McDonald there as well for the McDonough, pardon me, for the Rangers. And the Rangers get it back. Girardi doesn't clear. Bailey now takes it towards the boards, looking for Tavares in the slot. Didn't reach him. Back comes St. Louis for the Rangers. Marty St. Louis into the Islanders zone. The trailer McDonough. Fire save. Halak. He juggles, but it's rescued by Hamonic. Takes it out of the danger area, but not out of the zone. Brassard moving towards the corner now. Feeds the slot. Klein in. Shoots. He scores! Kevin Klein has given the Rangers their first lead of the night. Rangers 6, Islanders 5 with 4:32 remaining in the third period.
Terrific play by Brassard as he stays with it. Goes from right side to left side, keeps his feet moving, and finds Klein, who had moved in. And what a big year for Klein, his 9th goal of the season. But look at Brassard, keeps the feet moving, crossovers. Now he gets his head up, takes a little look. I'm not sure he was going to climb on the play as Zuccarello or Hagelin misses that shot. And then it's a great shot by Klein as he hits the bottom of the corner. The lock was in good position, came out, but the Rangers have now scored 6. Now the Islanders will have to get to 6.
Now do the Islanders have an answer? Nick Leddy trying to push it ahead, can't get it through. Zuccarello across to Nash. Boychuk lines up Rick Nash. The puck to the near side. Moore unable to get it to Nash, so Boychuk fires it beyond any teammate's reach, and that's going to be an icing. They'll bring the face-off into the Islanders' zone, and suddenly the clock has become the Islanders' enemy. You're watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Foxwoods excitement every day. Visit foxwoods.com now. 4:03 remaining in the third of a regular season classic.
It's been unbelievable up and down, and Alain Vigneault has been almost playing 2 lines a lot more than he normally would, so you know he places a huge value on this particular game.
Kreider to St. Louis. It went over the net. Recovered by Stepan. Picked off by Clutterbuck. Islanders can't clear. Clutterbuck just took a stick in the eye, or the face anyway.
Not sure if that was a stick or a puck, Howie.
Was that the puck that came back up?
Came back up.
Well, thankfully he appears, at least from our vantage point, relatively all right. Easy for us to say, though, isn't it? 3:45 remaining, third period. Now, we weren't sure if Cal Clutterbuck caught a stick or caught the puck. Let's take a look. Stick of his own man. Friendly fire provided by Kuhlman. Thankfully, Cal's all right. Brassard and St. Louis picked up the assist on Klein's go-ahead goal. His 9th of the year. If this one holds up, it'll be his 4th game winner. But we're a ways away from that still. Goal was at 15:28. 3:44 remain in the third. Brian Straight couldn't find a teammate. Talbot plays the puck to the corner, and the Rangers clear out. And this one will go well short of an icing, so Straight has to move it. And Hamonic, the defense pair. Hamonic shut off by Nash.
This will be the Islanders defense will have to jump up into the play because the Rangers are going to be back in a 1-2-2. So it's going to be very difficult for them. You got to go D to D, Howie, and then the defense has got to jump up with the puck. That Ranger high forward, the F1 if you will, is going to stay in between. So it's one good pass and then get on your horse for the defenseman. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to penetrate into the offensive zone.
Islanders have Nielsen, Grabowski, and Strome. Islanders with the Stepan St. Louis Kreider combination, and this is Kreider using some strength to protect the puck from Hamonic before firing it off of Travis. And now it's wobbling back into the Ranger zone, and the Islanders change quickly. 3 minutes to go in the third. This is Kreider. Lofting one, elevated towards St. Louis. Missed it. McDonough fires and missed the net. Karam's hard around. Girardi's there to keep it in, though. Now for Stepan. Eric Stepan powering back. Knocked down under pressure from Wisnowski. Islanders go the other way. Wisnowski to Hickey. Into the Ranger zone. Hickey lines up a screen. Shot it off of Girardi. Now Tavares. Back to the line for Wisnowski. 2.5 to go in the third. 6-5 Rangers. Bailey in the corner for Lee against McDonough. Lee throws it to this side. Took a while for anybody to get there. Tavares couldn't hold on to it. And now Kreider slowly just wants to tuck that in deep. Take time off the clock as the Rangers change. 2:13 remaining in the third. Wisnowski ahead. Strome couldn't work it deep. Now Moore brings it back in. Caught from behind. Keeps working. Moore behind the net. Feeds the blue line to Klein. We're under 2 minutes to go in the third. Klein off the end boards. Now Hagelin looks for a play from behind the net. Sneaks out, shoots. Halak the save. He'll hold on. And we're down to 1 minute and 49 seconds remaining in the third period.
The Rangers have had a little bit more jump in this third period. They found their legs. They struggled in the first period. They were lucky to come out of the first period with down a goal, but they've gotten progressively better. And they've really been able to take it to the Islanders. 42 shots apiece now, Howie, with little time left on the clock, but it's been all Rangers in this period pretty much.
From the draw, Leddy for Boychuk. Trying to work around the referee. Zuccarello gets the puck, puts it towards the net, now gets it again. Taken in by Nielsen. Zuccarello keeps working, and Brassard got a shot off. Down to 1:35 to go. This is what the Rangers want. Keep it deep and prevent Halak from getting out. Klein working around to the far side. Nash is there. Now to Brassard. Islanders have got to get possession, move up ice, and get their goaltender out. 1:18 remaining in the third, and now here comes Nelson. Halak at the hash marks as the Islanders turn it over. Halak's got to stay in for now. And the Rangers dump to center. A hand pass as it was gloved by Grabowski and then played by a teammate. We're down to just 1:05 remaining in the third. And the Islanders spending way too much time lately in their own end.
Well, when you have a one-goal lead, you always have the legs. You're never too tired to keep it going. Certainly the New York Rangers came out in this third period with an awful lot of jump. However, they have fought back a couple of times from 2-goal deficits. But they have clearly had the legs in this third period. And you're right, the Islanders have spent just way too much time in their own defensive zone, and they just haven't been able to get to the loose pucks.
They're there again, and we're under a minute to go. Halak's got to stay put until the Islanders can move it out. Tavares trying to do just that. Doesn't connect cleanly with Bailey. Halak darting towards the bench. He's got to stay in as that puck came his way, and we're down to 41 seconds remaining.
And I take Halak out right now. I just get him behind the net and have that other forward go up high.
Well, Halak makes his move. Tavares into the zone. Tavares circles now along the boards. Throws it in front off of Talbot. Rebound missed. A great chance by Bailey.
And it hit the crossbar, Howie.
Well, 23 seconds remain. Islanders' net is empty. Moore trying to clear. St. Louis takes a wallop from Boychuk. 16 left on the clock. Islanders trying to gain possession. Nobody has it until Moore comes loose. Flings a knock hockey shot going towards the net but misses. However, no icing. Hagelin puts it in front. Missed by Moore. Time runs out, and the New York Rangers have defeated the New York Islanders for the first time this season. Rangers 6, Islanders 5 in a game that saw the Islanders take 3 separate 2-goal leads, but the Rangers came all the way back and beat the Islanders here at the Coliseum 6-5.